Hey, what's up guys? Sloth here. Today we are going to be working on the 2006 Lexus RX330 and we're going to be flushing the power steering fluid. As you can tell, it is very dark and I don't even have to take off the lid and it is pretty much black. So this will work on years 2004 to 2009 and it will also cover the RX350 as well. I already have a video out when I did it on the 4Runner. I can't remember off the top of my head if it was dedicated just for the 4Runner or if it was a general power steering flush. But I figured since you guys are probably looking it up on how to do it for your vehicle, well, here's a dedicated video. Anyway, let me go ahead and show you what you're going to need and let's jump right into it. All right, so this is everything that I'm using. So I have an assortment of different size hoses over here because whenever you take this off, you need to go ahead and plug up one side of this. So in order to actually drain this out, what we need to do is take off the smaller line. That's going to be a return line right here. Whenever you turn the steering wheel, fluid from your rack and your power steering pump, it will come up through here and it will go back into the reservoir, and then this will feed back into the pump. So in order to minimize a mess, we need to go ahead and take out as much fluid from here as possible. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. You can siphon it out. You can use a turkey baster if you want to, if you can get a small enough one, or you can use a fluid pump. So one side sucks fluid out, the other side dumps it out. So I just have a water bottle set up here and I'm going to put this part of the hose in there and then it'll take out as much fluid as possible and that will reduce a lot of the mess that we're going to make down here, since this is not really the best spot to have the reservoir. So we're going to put a bunch of rags or like a mat underneath it, and then you'll just need to get some pliers and take this little clamp off. But talking about the fluid that we'll need, Toyota recommends just using some ATF. It's usually Dextron 3. Always check your manual. It says it on the cap. So I'm using some Valvoline Maxlife that is Dextron 3 compatible. And if we look up here, it says Dextron type ATF. So we can go ahead and use that. Toyota generally just uses ATF for their power steering fluid. So you don't need to throw power steering fluid into it. But yeah, that's pretty much all we're going to use. Obviously, you need some gloves because this gets really messy. You need some rags. And I have these absorbent pads that actually come in handy for any kind of fluid messes. So I'll throw it underneath the car. And then I'll also throw one right underneath that reservoir just to minimize a lot of the mess coming down. And one last thing, if you guys drive over some cardboard, that will make it a lot easier to turn the wheel left and right, so that way we can get the fluid out of the system. Or you can put it up on some jack stands and you can rotate your wheels left and right like that as well. It just makes it a lot easier if the tires are underneath cardboard or if they're up in the air. So choose whichever route you're going to go. I'm probably just going to throw it up in the air because I need to check a few things out anyway. So let me go ahead and do that, and then we'll start the fluid flushing process. So I'll be back. All right, so as you can tell, I have one of those absorbent pads right underneath the hose and the reservoir. Now, if we look at this, look how dark this fluid is. That is pretty dark. So now I'm just going to put my siphon in here, and then I've got my bottle set off to the side where I showed you guys as well. So let's go ahead and try to get as much of this fluid out. Oh my God, look at how dark that is. That also smells awful. And with how dirty it is, I can't really tell the fluid level that's inside of the container because it's just stained. Oh, I got it You got it pretty empty. All right, so that's good. Let me go ahead and remove this, and then I will, I'll show you guys this hose that's going to be taken off and how I go ahead and deal with that. Okay, so hopefully you can see pretty decently from what I see on the camera. It looks okay. We're just going to remove this hose clamp. Just going to slide it down. And that actually looks like it needs to get replaced sometime soon. I wish I would have seen that, because I would have ordered a new one, because that does not look good. So since these hoses are pretty old, what I like to do is just grab it and twist the hose a little bit, just to break it loose from the reservoir. And then now we should be able to just push down onto the hose and slowly slide it off. It'll probably work better just doing it by hand. Oh yeah, this hose is shot. It is original. Oh, that hose is split. Good, good. Okay, there we go. That is finally off. Wow. Yep, that rubber on the outside is just completely split. It's not good. All right, so I'm going to see if this hose that the spare hose that I have on me will just fit over this just to block the reservoir. And it does. Okay, cool. Because I have this blocked off. And now with this hose right here, our split one, it's going to be, on this car, it's actually going to be pretty difficult to get like a water bottle on it or whatever to get the old fluid out, but I have an idea, so I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the plan. So I just realized how small this hose actually is. It is just about 8 inches long with a little curve in it. And I'm going to take it off and I'm going to put this hose on it. Just so that way I can have a long enough hose that comes right out. I believe this is a 5/8 of an inch hose, and I believe that's what this size is as well. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the size. Anyway, I'm going to take this off. There's just another clamp that I just pulled up. That's right here, and it was right down there. So pull that up and then pull this old hose off, and then there's going to be some fluid that comes out. So be prepared with a couple rags or just this drop blanket or drop pad, and then going to put this guy on it. So I'll be back whenever I have that off. Okay guys, so this is the setup. I have that reservoir still mounted there. I've got the return line blocked off with a hose. And then I have my temporary hose that's coming from that line where we took that little hose off. It should look like that. And it is going into an empty container. So I've already got some fluid into it. It doesn't matter if you have some or not. But this is where we will either need an assistant or we can just do it ourselves. So we are going to fill up the reservoir with clean ATF. And we're going to rotate the wheel all the way one way to the left, slowly until it stops. And then we're going to turn it back to the center position, check our fluid level, and then rotate it to the right, full lock until it stops, and then rotate it back into the center. Now, the car should be off. The key in the ignition, with the ignition to the on position, the vehicle should not be running. Do not start the vehicle. And we're going to check the fluid level. What we want that clean red ATF coming out of here. When it's not dark anymore and it's just red, we should be good. It should take a little over a quart, probably a quart and a half, I'm going to assume. So yeah, we're just gonna keep doing that until we get clear red fluid that comes out. And once we're good there, we can go ahead and put the hose back onto your reservoir, and then we're gonna fill it back up to our cold fill position, but we're gonna focus on that later. Now we're just going to focus on the flushing procedure. So I have my assistant in the car, and she's going to be rotating the wheel for me. So that way you guys can see this whole thing happen. So let me fill it up and let's go ahead and start flushing it. Okay, so I have the reservoir filled up. This reservoir does not take a whole lot of fluid, so be extra careful not to run your reservoir dry, because we're just gonna have to pump any excess air out of there. So this is why we're going one-way full lock, and then go back to the center, check it, top it off, and do the same thing. So now I am ready. Go ahead and turn the steering wheel slowly to the left. Oh wait, hold on. Just a note, I do have my vehicle up in the air. This is just cardboard that I threw underneath there, but the tires are up off the ground. Go ahead and turn it slowly to the left. We should be seeing some dirty fluid coming out. Are you at full lock? Okay, now turn it slowly back to the center. I'll tell you when your wheels are straight. Okay, stop. You can see that the fluid is still very dirty, and we are down to the hot minimum line. So I'm just going to add a bit more fluid to this. And during this, I will fill it up as much as possible without it overflowing. Okay, turn it to the right. Now go back to the center. And stop. All right, so just so you guys know, whenever you rotate it full lock one way and then back to the center, that uses up about half the reservoir. So just keep that in mind. Now this is still very dark. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this out real quick and then top this off again, and then we're gonna go back at it. All right, so I accidentally overfilled the reservoir, so I had to go ahead and rotate the tire again. So as you can see, that is still very dark. So let's go ahead and top it off without overfilling this. Okay, go ahead and rotate it to the right. I can see that it is starting to get more on the red side, which is good. All right, back to center. And stop. All right, let me drain the bottle one more time. So we're just gonna keep repeating this. I'll tell you how many times we're going through it. So I will be back. All right, this is the third one. We just went to the left, so we're gonna go back to the right again. Turn it to the right. Now we're seeing some red fluid come out. There we go. Now back to the center. And stop. All right, so as you can see, there's some red fluid coming out, so we are flushed. We are good to go. I'm going to lower the amount that's in the reservoir, so that way we can take off this hose without having the whole entire reservoir just dump everywhere. And then afterwards, we're going to go ahead and fill this up to our minimum cold line. I'll show you where that's at. So let me go ahead and pull this fluid back out, put a new hose on there, and then I'll show you the fill line, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so bad news. All the auto parts stores close in 15 minutes, and they're all within 15 minutes away. So I'm going to have to throw that old hose back on there just for the time being, and I am going to just order a new power steering return line assembly. They're about 30 bucks or so, and I noticed that it's a hard line that goes between the two, so there's a rubber hose on each side. So if this one's really bad, that means the other one's bad. So I'm going to replace that soon, very soon. Yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead and throw this all back together, and I'm going to put it on the fill line, and then I'll show you guys where that should be at. And then later on, check out that other video that I'm going to be making replacing that return line hose. So let me get this button back up, and we should be done with this. Okay, and just to show you where you need to fill it, there are 4 lines on here. If you look on the left side, it says cold minimum and cold max, and then hot minimum and hot max on the right side. So while the vehicle is just been off, it hasn't been running, you want to set it a little bit above the cold minimum. So that way when it heats up, it'll be in the middle of the hot minimum. As long as you don't go above the cold maximum, you're good. And it's really hard to show you since this container is so stained, but I have it just above that cold minimum line. And what you can do too, once you get the fluid back on and your hose back on, go ahead and rotate your wheel a little bit to make sure that you have enough fluid in there, because since we took that line off, there might be some excess air inside of there. So if you rotate the wheel left and then right, double check your fluid level, and then fill it back up accordingly. If you do that, you should be good to go. All right, guys, there we go. It's dark out, but I've only been doing this for about 40 minutes now. So anyway, that's how you go ahead and do that. I turned the wheel left and right just to make sure that the level didn't adjust, and it did. It went down just a little bit. So now I topped it off, so I have the fluid right in between the cold minimum and maximum, so we should be good to go. Just need to start up the car to verify that there's no leaks. Yeah, I'm not hearing a whine at all. Usually you would hear a whine upon startup, but she sounds good. And we're good, nothing's leaking. And just to let you guys know, if your power steering pump has been whining when you're turning, or if it's just whining while idling, especially when hot, that most likely means that your fluid is dirty. So make sure you go ahead and flush that and get some new fluid in there before it destroys your pump. And 9 times out of 10, this will cure a whining pump sound. But if it doesn't, then that means your pump is just going out. But it doesn't hurt to try. And I used about 1.5 quarts, close to 2 quarts all said and done. So make sure you have 2 quarts on you and you should be good to go. Everything I used, I will link in the description below. But yeah, that's how you go ahead and flush your power steering fluid in your RX330 or 350. So anyways, if you guys like this video, awesome, great to hear. Let me know how it helped out down below. And if you guys want to support the channel, you can go ahead, click the link in the description below. You can pick up some merch. You can pick up one of these hats, one of these t-shirts. And like always, I'll catch you guys on the next ride.